So we live on YouTube. Done.
We good to go, King.
Okay. Done. Shalom. His brother Hashar, HOINC. Um, give honors, double honors to the elders of HOI, to all the captains, to all the senior men, and to all the caps in the Americas and across that great sea. So Shalom. Yabba Shem Yahshua Barakatah to everyone. Hopefully everybody had a good piece of dedication. Um, I'm sure it probably caused a little bit of turmoil because it fell on this pagan holiday called Christmas. Um, I'm sure those who halfway into the truth had some explaining to do why they didn't have a tree or why they did have a tree. So hopefully, you guys, understand, the difference between these pagan holidays and what the Most High feast days are. So for your brothers who and sisters who kind of in the limb, kind of like, I want to spend time with my family. Hey, you got to stay in the spirit and just give one of your fellow senior Israelite brothers or sisters a call, and try to bring you into the light. So hopefully everybody had a great feast of dedication. My kids were looking forward to it. It's crazy. Um, I wish I had this same zeal they have when I was younger for, you know, because it's like they're into this. I've been having my kids in the truth since they was like born and 3 years old. So it's just beautiful to see that. So hopefully us older Israelites who came into it later would have the same zeal and the same appreciation as the children do. Um, so with that being said, tonight's class is going to be on, Esau again, always with his folly. Um, uh, this whole thing with ISIS starting up again in America with all these acts of terror. What do they all have in common? There was stuff happening in Germany. Like we already know how they do it. They start in the UK, or they start in Europe, or they start here, and then it goes to Europe, and then it goes to UK. It's like the same stuff over and over. Somebody just drove a bunch of people over in Europe, in Germany. I forget what city in Germany, but it happened like within 10 days. And then all this happens in America, from the lady getting burnt on the train. She just had it coming. It's like, what? Nobody tried to put her out. I get it, but nobody tried to put her out. That just doesn't make sense. But to this truck exploding in Vegas and to the guy running everybody over and in New Orleans. Okay, so we're just gonna get into it. I like to start off with a scripture, the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. Baba Kasha.
Khan, this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 25. When all I have to say, Khan, verse 25. Now my days are swifter than a post.
No, Salakia. Verse 24.
Salaki Khan. Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
God, can you say that one more time?
The earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
Nah, it's to giving to the good people.
Into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? And who is he?
So that's a very powerful scripture. So we have to understand the devices of Esau. Um, this guy. So really, ISIS is doing this. We all know that America has created ISIS. Like we all know that. Even I knew it, and I was in Iraq. Like we was like, what? Where did these dudes come from? We was fighting the Jay Sharmati. They call him Jam. oh man, it was like three groups we were fighting. And then these dudes, ISIS, we was like, who is that? And then their style of fighting didn't make no sense. Like, what? What are they fighting for? Are they jihadists? It just didn't make sense. And when you're fighting a war and stuff, you can't go certain places in that country because the CIA and the powers that be, they're playing chess, and we're going to mess it up. So we're not allowed to go in certain cities and venture off to certain areas. Because sometimes they would kill us. So we're not allowed to go certain things. That's why you have commanders and stuff like that. So some areas are mapped off. So when it says the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, in order to control something, like for us, for instance, they put us in projects. So it was a controlled area, and then they would put the trains and the guns and stuff, and we're all in this area. And then what happens in the projects? There's no men. There's boys, there's sons, there's nephews, there's grandchildren, but there's no men. All the men, you can't be in the projects. You can't be a owner of a apartment build or a project unless you are a female. I'm sure there's a couple dudes. I don't know any, but it's mostly women. So that's a controlled environment. So the earth is given into the hands of this man is diabolical. Really? ISIS? So that's the best excuse they can come up with. And it's been out that was created and manufactured with the help of the CIA and all the rest of the, and don't think it's just the CIA. It's MI6, all these different intelligence, folks that's Team America, they get in and they do certain things. Sometimes they keep stuff from each other. Okay. So the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered their faces and judges thereof. Um, so again, we're saying this is uh, a Ishmael issue with this whole ISIS thing. So let's bring this up. So I don't know if everybody heard about it. So I'm gonna share my screen so we can talk about it. Just give me a second. Play the video. Where's it at? I think that's right there. Just bear with me.
Flavors make all our family moments better, especially when they're at Eggland's best. Tastes so fresh and amazing, deliciously superior nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
CCTV.
Hey, Shalaki King, try to stop sharing and try it again. We're only hearing audio, but no video showing.
Oh yeah, that was a commercial. I didn't share it yet.
Oh, we were hearing the audio from it though.
Oh, you were? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. My bad. All right. So let's see. Okay, can you see that? Okay.
CCTV footage shows a Cybertruck exploding outside of the entrance of Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas this morning. And moments later, you can see what looks like fireworks shooting out from the vehicle. One person, the driver, was killed, 7 others injured, minor injuries, that is. And now an investigation is looking at whether this was an act of terrorism. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo has just arrived in Las Vegas. He joined us now live with the breaking developments. Tim?
And David, certainly that is the big question, whether or not this is an act of terrorism. We heard from authorities a short time ago who can tell people that this appears to be an isolated incident. They don't believe there's any kind of ongoing or active threat to the community. They do believe This Tesla Cybertruck was rented out of Colorado a couple of days ago, driven here to Las Vegas. So it only arrived around 7:30 this morning. And authorities say the truck was seen driving up and down the strip for about 10-15 minutes before parking in front of the Trump Tower here behind me, and for only about 15-20 seconds before it exploded. You see the scene live right now behind me. The street is still closed. Police still investigating. In fact, that Cybertruck is still in the exact spot where it exploded. We're going to show you the video here. We do want to warn you, it is graphic because the driver of that Cybertruck was inside at the time and died in that explosion. Now, this blast happened at around 8:40 this morning, right at the front doors of the covered entrance of the Trump Tower. The person in the driver's seat was killed, and another 7 people who were nearby suffered minor injuries. I mentioned the Cybertruck was rented out of Colorado via the Turo app, where you could rent cars from individual car owners. This one was picked up in Colorado Springs a few days ago, back on December 30th. Now, the pickup truck used in the terrorist attack in New Orleans also rented on Turo, but authorities are now investigating any connection, but at the moment say it appears using the same app and happening on the same day may just be a coincidence. Either way, Las Vegas police currently trying to identify the driver and whether it was the person who rented the Cybertruck in the first place. But authorities say Tesla owner Elon Musk quickly provided investigators with information about the truck's journey here to Las Vegas, which included photos of the person who rented it and drove it to Trump Tower.
He gave us quite a bit of additional information in regards to how the vehicle was locked after it exploded due to the force of the nature of the force from the explosion, as well as being able to capture all of the video from the Tesla charging stations across the country. And he sent that directly to us. So I appreciate his help on that.
Interesting note about the Tesla Cybertruck. Authorities say it actually absorbed much of the blast. So if you even look at the video, it's fairly close to the front doors of that hotel, and the doors that are glass weren't even damaged. Of course, this is still early in the investigation, and authorities are trying to figure out the exact
So you guys, you see how the one guy was standing next to the truck. He didn't even die. They said it was 6 injury, right? And I guess they didn't do their homework, because that truck did. You can look at the explosion. Everything went up. If it was a real, like, if it wasn't secure, that guy that was standing next to it, he would have went through the glass. You know what I'm saying? From the concussion, from the explosion, he would have some internal bleeding and stuff like that. So you can tell just by looking at it how it exploded. Let's look at it real quick. That it was compacted, like it wasn't. It absorbed it. See how it exploded? Let's go back.
CCTV footage shows a Cybertruck exploding outside of the entrance of Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas this morning. And moments later, you can see what looks like funny.
It mostly like went up. It didn't really go all out. Well, that guy, he wouldn't have no legs and stuff like that. So they chose the wrong vehicle, or they did it purposely. You know, have everyone seen that one about the exploding Cybertruck?
God.
So this is Esau. He's trying to say with that gentleman who did that, and I'm gonna show the next video. They're linking these 2 gentlemen together, that they both served in the military, in the army. So let me show you guys the next video.
Shalaki.
Fine.
Fair Use Act. These videos are being used for educational purposes. This is Fair Use Act. Okay, go ahead, King.
Con, appreciate it. I'm gonna mute real quick so nobody hear this next video before I share it. All right, here we go.
Is there a connection? The two men who carried out the New Year's Day attacks share several striking similarities. Both are Army vets reportedly deployed to the same Army base, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Now, each other. Both drove electric trucks, and they rented them from the same car rental app, Turo.
There are so many things that are crisscrossing. These are coincidences that really should cause pause.
If these turn out to be simple similarities, very strange similarities to have.
But today, the FBI says they have yet to find a connection.
At this point, there is no definitive link.
The surprise attacks came after a night of joyous national celebrations welcoming in the new year. Cops have named the Vegas suspect as Matthew Livelsberger, a 37-year-old Green Beret on leave from active duty in Germany. We found this video of Livelsberger and his ex-wife Sarah, a social worker, waiting at an airport for a red-eye flight to New York in 2016.
Far away.
Police say Livelsberger drove 12 hours through the night from his home in Colorado Springs to Las Vegas, stopping twice to recharge the truck's battery. The interior of the Tesla Cybertruck is like no other vehicle on the road. You are surrounded by glass, and the steering wheel is rectangular shaped. The monitor here controls everything with a touch screen, and it's pretty comfortable and easy to drive. Cops say that the suspect drove around Vegas for an hour before pulling up outside the Trump International Hotel. New surveillance video released today shows the suspect arriving in Las Vegas and driving up to the hotel. He was parked for just 17 seconds before cops say he detonated the homemade bomb in the trunk. It was made from gas canisters and large fireworks. This is where the explosives were stored, in the bed of the truck. And because it's built like a tank, the explosion was contained, directing the blast upwards. Remarkably, the explosion did little damage to the glass lobby of the Trump Hotel. The Cybertruck itself was engulfed in flames, but was left pretty much intact. Tesla boss Elon Musk proudly boasted. The evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. So why did he use a Cybertruck? The answer seems obvious.
The idea of getting the Elon Musk signature car and bringing it to the gold Trump sign in Las Vegas, it really suggests he's trying to send a message.
President-elect Trump is reacting to the targeting of his Vegas hotel today. The USA is breaking down. A violent erosion of safety, national security, and democracy is taking place.
Gone. So we all see that they're trying to link up to Louisiana, and that one. I mean, we clearly can see that this is all it's all a connection. I mean, they were both stationed there, and they both served in Afghanistan. So a lot of times when you are serving in the military, you tend to see things, and sometimes you can change sides, or like they used to do back in the day when they used to put inserts, like the Romans, the Greeks, everyone did this. They would put people from their empire into your military. You know, like we had Russians in our military, Russians, and they would go special forces and make it. They would select them to be special, a native Russian, someone from the Republic of Georgia, you know, someone from Canada, someone from China. Like they would literally let these people join our military and make it to a Green Beret, Delta Force, a Ranger. It's like, what? You know, so they would do this, and then those people would get intel, and then they would go out and do things for their country. But more than likely, you know, the CIA, they pretty much know everything. So you guys have heard about these killings in Louisiana and in Las Vegas?
Wow.
Oh, con. Yeah, it just all happened. You look in the news, there's a lot of stuff going on within the past 2 weeks of Esau's Gregorian calendar New Year. So they start in 2025 off with the bang. It just gives further um understanding of this world. Let me get Job. Let me stay in Job for a little bit. Let me get Job uh 10, verse 21 through 22. Baba Kisha.
Come. This is the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 21. We're beginning at 21 and 22.
21 through 22.
Come. Before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
God. So Job was talking about, death and leaving. Um, you know, um, how can he, he's not going to return, so I might as well go ahead and do my thing. And then verse 22, a land of darkness, like I'm in this decisive, the derivative, this crazy place, it's confused, as we call, spiritual Babylon. It's a land of confusion. It's darkness over here. Really? Somebody get burnt, set on fire, no one puts her out. Then all these kids are coming up kidnapped. Um, the whole Diddy thing, just Jay, it's just so much stuff going on in the world. Then these two guys come up with this just on their own, and then out of nowhere, there's an ISIS flag found in these vehicles, and they're linking them up to be part of the ISIS uh, regime, which, from what I'm understanding, they were dead. But I don't know. I guess they're making a comeback. Um, and how we don't see this? They rented electrical cars. You guys heard when Elon Musk went ahead and was able. So you got them electric cars. Those electric cars are like they dry snitch. Just FYI, if you want to get an electric car, by all means, but they dry snitching on you. It records everything. Now, it's good for certain things, but that thing, you see, it recorded the guy in the car. So if that wasn't really him, they would know. They would have that intel. Soon as you get in that electric car, it knows everything. You shouldn't even talk in that thing. I mean, the only thing I like about it is real quiet. You can't hear it coming, but it records, and I don't know. It's probably giving off radiation, all sorts of stuff. But you just heard it live on the TV, whereas though he said he recorded that guy's journey and all his conversations. So I guess they maybe wanted them to know that, or maybe that was something they wanted to get out from Elon. I don't know. But it's just weird that Elon sent the cops everything. He's like, hold up, I got intel. So that just goes to show you that's not even just the electric cars. As soon as they start putting that 5-star in there, that thing listens. It records stuff. It's like you fly on the plane, you know how the planes have those black boxes? That's what these cars are. So you just got to be careful. I think that might have slipped out about, I don't know why the cop said that. That was some really good information. They may take it out later, but man, that we all aware about the Patriot Act that came out in 2000. So they've been doing it forever. But just to hear him say that, some people should be kind of different. So I just wanted to touch on a few of those things about what's going on in the world and about how Esau is always trying to, you know, act like he's innocent in these things. So there's a book. Okay, it's called The Pale Horse. It's a really good book. I haven't read it yet. I just got it the other day. So it's called The Pale Horse. All right. A guy named Bill Cooper, former United States Naval Intelligence. Okay. Now, check this out. This guy, he talked about a lot of stuff that was going to happen. He's not a psychic, right? So in 1988, he decided to talk due to events then taking place worldwide, events that he had seen plans for back in the early 70s. Afterward, he correctly predicted the lowering of the Iron Curtain. Okay, so for those young people, the Iron Curtain is talking about Russia, okay? Pretty much the Cold War, all right? And the fall of the Berlin Wall. So the Iron Curtain would be like the Soviet Union. All right, that's why you have Croatia, Russia, Georgia, the stuff that's going on in Ukraine. They used to be all under the Soviet Union. All right. I believe it was a red flag with a sickle, right? And some stars and stuff. You just Google Soviet Union, you'll see it. So he predicted that. And the fall of the Berlin Wall and the invasion of Panama. When you guys, history is really good to understand history. The invasion of Panama, actually, my brother was on there. There you go, right here. Behold, a pale horse. So my brother was on there. He was on that mission. My brother was SEAL Team 4. So he was a Navy SEAL. But anyway, so the Panama thing was basically Noriega didn't want to keep sending crack. He saw what was on TV. You know what I'm saying? Hell, maybe he saw New Jack City. I don't know. But he was like, look, I ain't doing it. And so Bush was like, all right, okay, cool. He sent everybody down there. So he was a part of he talked about the falling of the Iron Curtain, the Berlin Wall, and the invasion of Panama. All Bill's predictions were on record well before the events occurred. Bill was not a psychic. His information came from top secret documents that he read while working with the intelligence briefing team and from over 17 years thorough research. So again, Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You guys got to understand this man. He's going to let you, he's not going to let you be a martyr. He's just not going to do that. Okay. When you get into the Middle East, he put Saddam, he put he just put that new guy in there in Iran, Syria, Jordan, they're very manipulative. They send people in there and they have the money. And what they do is they flip somebody, they flip them, and just have them doing all sorts of craziness, you know. Um, a lot of time, I guess I can reference it, you ever have a friend, a guy, and or let's just use female. Basically a person who's in a relationship. Sometimes that other person can take advantage of them and flip them and just make them do whatever they want. And you're like, dude, why are you standing for that? And when I say dude, girl, or guy, but it's like, why you going over there, girl? Why are you going over there, man? She's no good, or vice versa, right? But you wide open, as we call it, your nose wide open. So it happens to people who serve, because a lot of people that serve in the military, truth be told, a lot of these people have mommy and daddy issues. A lot of these people have parental issues. Some of these people are slow. I promise I had a soldier. This dude had to be, he was, I don't even think it was a bus he can get on, you know. But if we being frank, he was definitely on the short bus. And he made it all the way to sergeant. The first time we got shot at, well, my vehicle got blown up, right? So I'm in my vehicle, it gets blown up. We hit an IED. This dude falls down in his Humvee and starts crying. It's like, what? Now I didn't know this, but my buddy told me. So we was like, all right. So we just didn't let him go out. We just let him, we call going outside the gates, called going outside the wire. We just let him in there. So like 2 months went by, 2 months went by, and my first sergeant, oh my God, he said, what are y'all doing? Why is he in the gate? Because we don't want to die. You know what I'm saying? So, contrary to popular belief, people that join is not valor and oh, my family served. No, not today. Most of those people that join up today, they have a lot of issues. All right, a lot of issues. And so they're real easy to manipulate, like these guys, you know, and go for a cause. And the one guy, the one from New Orleans, he looks like a brother, but he's Arabic. He was having some financial issues. He's an officer. He have a couple awards and stuff like that. But he never get hit in combat because I ain't seen no Purple Heart. He was airborne. That was it. I mean, he ain't really, he's not really highly decorated if you look at his uniform. But he served in there. So again, there's two things. Either they could have been implants from certain countries, or they could have been um flipped. Like the guy, it was a Sergeant Sergeant Berkeley. Oh man, what's his name? Sergeant Berkeley. He was in Afghanistan and he walked off his post and everybody was looking for him. And they lost like some Marines and army. And come to find out, he went to go fight with Al Qaeda. He joined them. But the FBI went through his files. He got flipped from the internet because he's from Oklahoma or something like that. And they went through all his records and stuff and found his internet and everything. He was changed to fight with Al Qaeda, but he joined the army and became infantry. I think his name was Sergeant Berkeley or something like that, some white boy. But it can happen. It can happen. You can get flipped due to the fact, at the end of the day, it's the Most High's will. Um, let's get that real quick. Let's see that. Give me a second. Make that's Deuteronomy 32. Give me a second. I think it's Providence. I'm sorry. Man goings of the Lord, is that Providence? Yeah. Give me a second. You give me let me get Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. Baba Kusha.
Come. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord.
Nah, we got free will. We got free will.
Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
God. So just like I was saying, man goings of the Lord. So everything is, thus says the Most High. So it was supposed to be. But again, these entities, if he didn't want to happen, just throwing that out there to people. So we don't want everybody to think Esau is, he's doing it. No, he's not the Most High is the orchestrator. Okay, we're just pawns. Um, in this wonderful world of chess, So I say that to say that, it was meant to be, but again, you can get flipped. And apparently these two individuals were not following the 613, and they're definitely not Israelites, as far as I can tell. But the as long as you follow the 613 to the best of your ability, and you keep staying with this truth, you keep praying, you keep doing what you do, those things won't fall upon you. I know some people get confused, like, oh, well, that can happen. No, it can't. No, it can't. Can't happen to anybody. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, then that's not going to happen to you. Like the whole voodoo and all this other stuff. So you got to understand these brothers, these two individuals, Salakia, were weak-minded, and they was able to be deceived, and they was able to carry out Esau's mission. They got family, they got friends. Apparently they're idiots because now they're embarrassing their family. Really, bro? You're gonna get a Cybertruck? That dude's complete idiot. Cybertruck. Why would you try to blow that up? That's dumb as I don't know what. You know? Now, if he would have had some C4 or something like that, that's different. I think my second tour to Iraq, these guys, Haji boy, Ishmael, something different. He used to get dump trucks, like a dump truck, the trash trucks, to dump all that hot garbage juice in the hot summers. Especially you up northerners know about that. Oh my God. Anyway, so um they would fill that. It's called HME, homemade explosive. They would fill this thing up and blow it to pieces. Now I done missed 2 times getting blown up with this darn thing. So like it. The first time we like drove by it, and we was going to a patrol, and all you heard was woo, and they filled it up with HME, and it just obliterated it. So that means the truck itself became shrapnel. Okay, so all that metal, man, that killed so many people. And then they blew one up on the bridge. No, they blew one up in front of a like a building downtown Baghdad. But the point is, they filled that up. This guy put in some flares and gasoline. I don't even think he wanted to do. He should have knew. Like what? Um, and he was supposed to be a Let me see. The what? He was a He worked with like remote stuff. I think the other guy was they should have switched. Like, he was the other guy was like explosives, and this guy wasn't. Anyway, so I just think they just wanted to do something. But yeah, he definitely made a boo-boo. Whoever put this together, more than likely, they didn't want too many casualties, more than likely, because they still want Vegas to sell. They don't want nobody to be too afraid. You know what I'm like? He's something different. Really, why would you get a Cybertruck? That don't even make sense. And you could tell because when they do stuff like this, they just don't do it. I want everybody to understand that they act this out. It's called dry runs. You put something together and you act it out. The explosives is all calculated. I know you guys ain't thinking about that, but it's all calculated. So it's calculated stuff, and they can simulate the explosion. So that was a scare tactic. But the one in New Orleans, they really wanted to do something. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's what it is. They really wanted to do something. But the one in Vegas, I doubt if that was an error. That was calculated. Because again, they still want people to go to Vegas. Remember, this is the second time. Wasn't the first time. Um, you remember this, brother Shemai, where they had I think it was the Vegas shooting during a country concert where the dude allegedly was sniping everybody with 2 weapons, and he was shooting up there for like 30 minutes or something like that. You remember that?
Nah. How many years ago that happened?
2017, 2018, white guy, I think it was a white guy. He was in an apartment building doing a country concert, and he was sniping people with an automatic weapon. And allegedly he had a AK and something else. And ain't no way in the world he could have done that. There was way more shooters, but they tried to put it on him. And it happened in Vegas. Let me see. I think it was Vegas.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Let me see if this is it right here. Just one second. Is this it?
Yeah, uh-huh. That's it. This dude, 64 years old, open fire in a crowd. He fired more than 1,000 rounds, killing 60 people.
Huh.
Guys, there's no way you can do that, all right, with one weapon. Okay, the barrel will turn freaking orange. You guys need to try to save up some money, get some rounds, and try to shoot that many rounds through a semi-automatic or a automatic, like a AK-47. Each one of those banana clips, is probably going to have 30 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And to take that out, shoot, because you got to shoot and burst, right? If you don't shoot and burst, that muzzle is gonna get hot. And if it gets too hot, as that round come through, it's gonna blow up because it still has gas and gunpowder on it. Yeah, just Google the semantics or the mechanics of a weapon being fired, and stuff like that. Yeah, they had something like this. See that orange barrel right there to the left? Yes, that's from shooting too much. All right. And this was an AK-47 and something else. Have I ever shot my barrel got like that? I think it was an M60. But if your barrel gets like this, your NCO is gonna crack you upside the head. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all fitting to die. That's why typically with machine guns like this, okay, they would change out. So right here to the far right, that's a that's called an M249. Okay, that's like a saw. That's for like the guy that's laying down right here. That's a saw. So that's for like infantrymen and stuff like that, and they carry it with them. But as you can see, the handle right there, you can take that barrel off and change it out. So if I'm the machine gun guy, I'm gonna carry the machine gun, but my ammo guy, he's gonna have at least two barrels. Most of the time like one, but if you're in a unit that's 8 up and you're not going to get no rescue no time soon, they got to do the math and you want to carry around at least two barrels. So you take that one off, put it back in the mitt, let it cool off, give him the other barrel. He's, laying down, suppressant fire or fired, to move and stuff like that. So yes, you're not supposed to wait to that barrel. You done messed up. That's going to take forever. All right. And you could get hurt. As you can see, one of these weapons, the muzzle done blew up because that's from the round going through. When that round goes through, the bullets it's darker than the casing. So the casing has gunpowder in it. So once the firing pin hits the primer, that gunpowder kicks out the round, but it's gases that comes out with it too. So that's why if it turns orange, that gas and that little bit of gunpowder that's going to go through the barrel, it's going to blow up in your face. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. See, yeah, that's an M249. Yeah. Yeah, those things are nice. And that's 5.56 rounds. So 5.56 rounds, like I told before in one of my classes, that's not meant to kill you, that's meant to wound you. So we want you to go pick up bodies so we can get you while you're picking up the other bodies. Yeah, I know, right? America. But yeah, so there's no way that man could have shot that much. Let's see. We got a video.
Yeah, the videos, they removed the video.
Oh no, you can hit it. It says it's restricted. You can hit it.
Oh yeah, watch on. Okay, cut.
Oh, what happened?
Just one second. I
Oh,
didn't share the audio. Let me just.
Okay.
Do that real quick. I apologize.
Let me get my picture up out of here. Nobody want to look at me. See that? There it is. Woo, look at that gas plug. Yeah, that thing about to blow up. Woo.
Well, if they didn't, it might be possible to kill a lot of people if
Nah,
you shoot until the
it
barrel explodes like that.
yeah, but see, he didn't have a suppressor on it, and he had an AK-47. That's a machine gun. I mean, I understand an AK is a machine gun, but that's smaller. You know what I'm saying? And the barrel was shorter, so there's no way because people like a lot of military experts they went out there to simulate what they were trying to say happened. It was over 2,000, 3,000 rounds that was shot, and people heard rounds from different angles. So what they tried to say was, oh, they didn't hear it, kind of like the whole JFK thing. Oh, they didn't know what they were hearing. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is look at the muzzle flash. Like when you shoot a machine gun, that's what made me nervous. Like when I was shooting my 50 cal in Iraq, soon as you shoot that thing, it's like you shining a flashlight. It has a huge muzzle flash. And soon as you shoot it, here comes some rounds and stuff coming back at you. You know what I'm saying? But they put that suppressor on there because they would have been ended if it really had a I've shot an M249. Like you ain't gonna put $1. No. And at the bottom of it is a gas plug. Like that whole thing was about to blow up. But I believe
So
they probably did that because of that whole 1,000 round. Like most military guys know that know anything about guns. That's not gonna happen. That like him sitting there, right? Mind you, this is a 64-year-old man. That weapon gets hot. Like not just the barrel, but that upper receiver, that stuff gets hot, you know? And it yeah, it gets hot. You don't want to deal with that. One of our guys got in trouble. He was shooting a 50 cal and he wouldn't take you can't just go pop, 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 pop. You're not supposed to shoot it like that. You're supposed to do it in 3 to 5 round bursts. Blah, 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 blah. If you shoot long bursts, you're gonna die because somebody's gonna get you because you're being exposed too much. You know what I'm saying? So if you shoot in small bursts as it goes to the enemy or the op, whatever generation you want to be from, it goes towards the person of threat. They got to keep dodging. But if it's a continuous bop, 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 you can't really move that weapon. So you want to do anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6 round bursts. So yeah, but that Vegas thing is all this stuff happened in Vegas. You know, now the dude gets the Cybertruck and blows it. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you use that? He should have used a Prius. He should have used a Suburban. You know, something that's shrapnel savvy. You know what I'm saying? A minivan, something. Why would you use a Cybertruck? Knowing, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think that one was done purposely, and the one in Vegas was done, or the one in New Orleans did what it needed to do, but the one in Vegas they didn't want too many casualties. That's what I think. But you know, some more stuff is going to come out on it. But that was basically what we wanted to talk about today in the class. It was an impromptu class, um, but hopefully you guys got something out of it about how scheming of a man Esau is and how he's always, even in these scriptures, he is continuing. We just talked about the Feast of Dedication and the things he did to our temple. You know, Esau, okay, so when we went to Iraq, um, they called us because I was with a unit, they called us third SHIT division because there was poop and pee everywhere. We destroyed that country. Every chance, not Hassan Ray Thompson. No, I didn't do that. Or Brother Hashar. No, I did not. But wherever there was a place, somebody was pooping or peeing or doing just some crazy stuff. They just disgusting. And you know, it ain't that many of us in there. So this was all Esau. All right. So they pretty much like everywhere we went, they just did some foul stuff. And so that goes back to when the Greeks was you know, in our temple and stuff, just being foul, defiling it, just being disrespectful, you know. Um, you know, everybody went into, and it was mostly the special forces guys. They was tearing up Saddam castles. I mean, even though the people was robbing it, but they was just doing some dirty stuff, you know. Um, I mean, you would go into castles because he had a whole bunch of castles over there. And by the time I mean, it would literally be hours, and we get in there, everything's gone. They took the marble, you know, he had gold faucets, just everything. So Esau is just, man, it's double the Bible speaks of. And they doing this now, you know, just imagine back then, you know. So, and there were rules back then to war, but Esau doesn't care. He's going to grape your lady and your son. You know, the guy over there, when we got back, and I'll just end it on this. We got over there in '06, right? So we did an '06 tour. And so we get there, they kidnapped these soldiers and stuff. I think I may have told this story. But the soldiers before them, it was a medic and some other dude, infantry guy and a medic and somebody else. Well, the three soldiers, two of them raped a girl and killed the whole family and buried them in a house, right? So their houses, they have you go inside their houses, they got like these huts and stuff, and the floors are all made out of dirt, right? And so that's like the poor ones. So it's like, bro, y'all just couldn't burn it. They killed them and buried them. Like, why you didn't burn anyway? So they killed them and buried them in the house. And everybody knew it was the soldiers. So they left. They went back to the States. They didn't tell nobody. So we come over there in '06 and they was mad. Now I wasn't on guard duty. So they watched these guys and whatever. And finally they because you know, we're all Americans, according to them. So they killed everybody in this little convoy because they was pulling security. It was like 3 trucks. So they killed everybody but one dude. And he was Dominican. Imagine that. That's the only guy that lived. And we went to search for this dude. Man, we searched for this dude forever. We could not find him. What happened was, he's a Dominican brother. It's kind of a sensitive story. But anyway, he got, like, we searched for him forever. So we couldn't find him. Come to find out, the special forces, my third tour over there, they they um they had found him. But they had to interrogate this dude, right? So what happened was they interrogated the guy and he was like, "Oh, I got information on the American." He got wounded in the whole when they shot up the vehicles and stuff. Because it was mostly, you know, white boys they killed, but he was the only Israelite. And, you know, I can tell you they didn't really want to mess with us. They really didn't. But if you was blonde hair, blue eye, they was getting you. But us, they didn't really want to mess with us. And they tried to save this dude. The dude said they took him here, they took him there, but he died of his own wounds, you know, so they didn't kill him. And they buried the man. Do you believe that? They buried him, everything, dog tags and stuff. So once they finished torturing this guy and they got the information, he showed where the body was at, and they found the body over there in my third tour, 2009. They found the body and returned it back home. Now this dude's been dead for like what, 2, 3 years. So yeah, Ishmael, he's a wild horse. He's a wild boar. He's a wild dog. But they didn't really want to do nothing to us. They really didn't. Not saying that they're righteous or anything like that, but and I was told by them they cannot stand white. They was like, why are you in their military? All this other stuff. So, but yeah, we finally got the brother home and gave the remains to his parents and stuff like that. But that was real trippy. Like he was the only because like I tell y'all, we have combat units and stuff. It's not that many brothers and Hispanics and natives in these units, you know. Thank God. It was always at least 3 or 4 of us, out of a platoon of 30, maybe 6 is of color. Everybody else is a white boy, you know. So they was gunning for them. They wasn't really gunning for us. And it was crazy. They tried to keep this dude alive, but they couldn't um you know um save his life, you know. Because we were searching and a lot of people died for that. But then they had the right to do that, because they raped and murdered the family and nobody knew this. So we was trying to figure out why they do this. And then the medic who was there, he went, it's all on the news. The medic, he went, well, the part about the guys raping the girl and killing the family, that's on the news. All those guys are in jail. But the medic was the one that had a guilty conscience. And he told his chain of command, and then everybody else got involved. And I think they're still in jail, you know. I think it might have happened after that incident happened. So maybe like 2011, 2010, I think they had a quick and speedy trial and they went to jail. So just to say that, period, these people that join up, a lot of them, like I said, are weak minded and stuff, and they can be flipped and they can be coerced to doing stuff. We already get indoctrinated. And then when you join the military, the right person to find you. Because those agents and those intelligent dudes, they're everywhere, and they always need somebody. So that's basically the class on the incident that took place. Anybody have any questions? I put everybody to sleep. Anybody have any questions? Anything
Uh,
to bring out? Oh, you said La? Okay.
Somebody asked, what does this have to do with God? And on the YouTube,
It said what?
what does this have to do with God and what's spiritually going on in the world?
Oh, okay, con. Well, when you first came on, we brought out the book of Job, and we talked about the hands is given into the wicked, or the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So that's what it has to do. I mean, everything that happens in the world always has to do with the Most High because it's His plan. If you're new to this and not understanding why we're here to talk about prophecies. We're here to put different breakdowns, different events that happen in the world to let you know that Esau kingdom is falling. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And then we talk about the land of darkness, how man's goings is of his own. But this class was an impromptu about the events that happen with and they're trying to put it on another people, but we know who is doing this. We know that this is Esau. So he never wants to I mean, if you guys know your history about the Greeks, the Romans, it's the same, just like we just got out of the Feast of Dedication. And what is the Feast of Dedication, right? It's about the temple, all right? And how Esau is manipulative, how he's trying to get our people to eat pork and trying to get us to do this and, evade or violate the Shabbat, So this event and the Feast of Dedication, if you read your scriptures, you would know that our people were Hellenized. This is why, you have your what is skeety wheats and all that Greek customs and sorority and all that stuff. All that comes from the Greeks and the Roman captivity. So what happens is the spiritual part is our people keep allowing certain things to intervene without understanding that we are God's chosen people. So, like we said in the book of Job, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who is the wicked? You know, so-called white man or Esau, and all the other nations that fall underneath of that. You understand? So that's what this class happened to do. And the reason for the class is just to keep people aware of what's going on. I mean, martial law, all these different things, Jacob's trouble. So if you don't understand that, then, go look at some old classes on Thursday night and catch up, but that's basically what it has to do with prophecy and about how they set things up. It's called the Kansas City Shuffle, right? Everybody go left, but everything is happening to the right. So that's what this class have to do. And some people that's on here didn't know that those two men served together. So that just tells you someone is plotting that. And like I told you about the pale horse, the pale horse, this man was a naval intelligence officer. He wasn't a psychic. He just told you what happened. So they plan these things. So I don't know. Any
Good
other
answer.
questions?
Good answer, King.
God.
Um, in in the scripture, like let's run to 2 Timothy 3:5, from 1 to 5.
You said 2 Timothy 3?
Yeah, 2 Timothy 3:1 to 5.
You said 2 Timothy chapter
Mhm.
3, verse 1 through 5?
Yeah, Khan.
Book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This know how that in the last days perilous times shall come.
And that's literally some of the
God,
things you're bringing out. We're
God,
in some perilous times, right? What is the definition of perilous?
God. The definition of perilous from the Oxford is full of danger or risk, exposed to imminent risk of disaster or ruin.
I think that's exactly what you're bringing out, right?
God,
So
God.
that's exactly what you're bringing out.
Thou
So
says,
what
God,
does this have to do with the Bible and God and spirituality? A lot of our people um, you know, have an understanding that these things that's going on in the world has nothing to do with God.
God.
This has everything to do, like you say, with prophecy, right?
Mhm.
Uh, Jesus himself, who people call, the Messiah, or the world who, ignorantly calls him Jesus, talks about this in Matthew as well,
Con,
right? So we are living in perilous times. Um, Go ahead, King, continue.
verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves,
Yeah,
covetous.
we
Say
see
again.
that going on every day, right? Go
Con,
ahead.
covetous, boasters, proud. That one right there out there. Proud.
Yeah, con.
Blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
So yeah, these are all of the things that's going on. What does it have to do with the Bible and God? It has everything to do with the Bible and what's going on in the world, right? Again, the question was, what does this have to do with God and what's spiritually going on in the world? It exactly defines spiritually what's going on in the world. It has everything to do with the Bible and prophecy. These are the things that will be happening and is happening right in front of our face in these last days, right? Men are
Con,
boasters, they're covetous. We're living in perilous times. People are blasphemers, unthankful, unholy, right? These are all of the things that's happening.
con,
Go ahead, King.
verse 3. Without natural affection, truce, break, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Exactly, right? Do you hate me because I tell you the truth, right? People are hating people who telling them, hey, bro, you are a child of the Most High, right? This is what's going to happen based on what the Bible says. Um, and we're seeing it every day, right? This has everything to do with what's happening in the world and spiritually what's happening, with what was told to us would be happening, right? Go ahead, continue.
And Salakia,
Yeah,
incontinent, the definition, lacking self-restraint, uncontrolled.
there you go, right? Somebody got, you know, shot somebody because in for a burger the other day. You
Yeah,
know, they
crazy.
have no control, right? Somebody set someone on fire on a train in New York City, no control. Somebody driving their truck through a crowd, they have no control, right? What, about 10 or 9 people get shot up in a club in Queens yesterday.
Mm,
You know, all of these perilous times is the times that we're living in, right? So, what does this have to do with God and what's spiritually going on in the world, right? This is everything that's going on in the world, right?
literally. God.
Literally, right in front of our eyes. Every day we're seeing prophecy unfold, right? Go ahead, King.
God, verse 4. Traitors,
This
heedy,
guy, this guy would be considered a traitor, right?
God.
Right?
Yes.
He was in the military. He got turned, and he ended up doing something that you would expect not someone to be doing who was part of the U.S. military
God.
on their own citizens. Go ahead.
God. Traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
There you go. Right? People love their pleasures, right? You have the trans community. We have, that's a topic all by itself.
Yeah, Con.
Right? There's just so much craziness going on in the world, man. And it's just getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The scripture tells you that in these last days, people are going to really just move away from forgiveness and love, right? The love of many shall wax cold, right? So we're going to be seeing that more and more, right? The person says, "You all misunderstood my question, but it's all good." To misunderstand a question that is written down is kind of difficult. I read it as it was laid out. Is there a misunderstanding? Let me read the question again. Question: what does this have to do with God and what's spiritually going on in the world? Are we answering that question? I think we are. We're showing that this has everything to do with God and everything to do with what's going on in the world. So I don't think we misunderstand your question. I would say maybe you wrote the question down incorrectly on how you wanted to say it, but the way you said it is the way we read it, right? Go ahead, King.
Con. Verse 5. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof,
Yeah,
from such turn away.
there we go, right? TD Jakes, the bottom, power bottoms, and all of these other pastors and preachers and people who are claiming to, be on the Lord's side. We see they have a form of godliness, but they being power bottoms. So they're definitely denying who God is. They're definitely lovers themselves, right? They're definitely unholy. They're definitely disobedience and proud and all of these different things, right? Go ahead, King.
Verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead.
Oh, lucky. Yeah, I asked for just up to 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, there's more in there. But to answer that question, what does this have to do with God and spiritually what's going on in the world today? It has everything to do with God and spiritually what's going on in the world today. Let's jump to Matthew chapter 24 real quick.
Matthew 24?
Yeah, let's start from verse 6 and 7, I guess.
Okay. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
That's what we're hearing going on right now. Right? We're seeing wars, rumors of wars, all kind of scrimmages and all kind of malicious acts, right? This is what we're living in right now, right? If you turn on the news and you don't know that there's wars and rumors of wars, it has everything to do with what's going on in the world and spiritually what the Bible talks about, right? In these last days, a whole lot of perilous things is going to happen. We are living in perilous times, right? You could go out today and you can get run over in a crowd because somebody decided to drive their car through a crowd, right? You could go to a damn restaurant to buy a burger and there could be a shootout because somebody got their fries and it was cold, right? You could go on the train and get set on fire. You could be on the train platform and somebody push you down when the train is coming, right? All of these things goes on every day. Go ahead, King.
John, verse 7, or Salakia. We're still in 6. See that ye be not troubled.
Right? This is for who? Is it telling Esau don't be troubled? Is it telling everybody in the world don't be troubled because Jesus is coming to save everybody? No, it's talking to his people, right? We're going to see this. A lot of this stuff is going to come to us, directed to us, right? But the Most High, Yahweh Shai, is telling us, don't be troubled, right? Don't panic. Don't lose your mind, right? Don't forget who is God. Don't forget
Mhm.
who you are. Don't forget that I tell you this before it happened.
God.
So know that it's going to happen. Don't think, well, no, no, let's pray against this stuff. You need to be praying against these things happening. Pray for peace on earth and goodwill to all men. No, that's not what the Bible says. That's not what Yahweh Shai says. That's not what prophecy says. Jacob's trouble is not about peace and goodwill to all men, right?
God.
Go ahead, King.
God. Verse 7, or Shalaki. For all these things must come to pass.
What?
For all these things must come to pass.
Nah, some of them could go away if we pray against it.
For all these things must come to pass.
You see, you don't have enough faith to know that we could change men. We could just start loving each other and just be peaceful and live in that utopia.
For all
No,
these things must come to pass.
they might come to pass.
But the end is not yet.
No, those things might come to pass, King. They don't have to,
Nah, but the end is not yet.
right? So these things that we're seeing, that the perilous times and the wars and the rumors of wars and the earthquakes and all of the wicked stuff that's going on, they must come to pass. Having a good thinking, good thoughts, and fasting against prophecy is not going to work, right? You cannot fast against prophecy. If God said this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen. Go ahead, King.
God, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
That's what wars and rumors of wars again,
And
right?
kingdom
Go ahead.
and kingdom against kingdom.
There you go. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happening.
God.
Go ahead, King.
And there shall be famines and pestilences.
It's gonna be right. Right now, everybody's getting a major cold virus. It's knocking people down heavy. Maybe Esau put it out, right? Maybe the the vaccines wasn't enough to kill enough people, right?
God.
He's putting some other pestilence out there, right? But all of these things gonna happen, man. Famines is gonna happen. Them grocery stores that is packed is going to get empty. Suddenly, the sown places, as the scripture says, shall be bare. It's going to be empty. You're going to walk into the Walmart and it's going to just be empty shelves. You're going to walk into your local grocery store and it's going to be empty shelves.
God.
You're going to go to all of them pantry places that's sharing out food, and they're going to have signs up, come back tomorrow. But tomorrow comes and come back tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and they say, come back tomorrow. All of them sown places is going to be bare. All of them places you would normally go and get a little can of this and a can of that. All of them places going to be empty.
God.
Con, let's see some more stuff. Let's go. Just jump to what you read up to 7 already, right?
Um,
You
uh,
finished 7.
no, let me finish it. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
If you ain't looking at the news, if you ain't seeing all of the things going on in diverse places,
Good.
right? places right here in the great United States. Bridges are getting washed away. Cities and towns are getting flooded out, destroyed right here in these great countries. Things are getting destroyed, and it's happening all over the world, diverse places. Right? Let's jump to verse 12.
Fine, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
There you go. People gonna drive through crowds with their trucks. People gonna set a damn Tesla truck to explode where there's plenty of people all the time.
Done.
They want to kill a whole lot, right? People ain't gonna have no love. They ain't gonna have no pity, because this is what the scripture says is going to happen. This is what prophecy says is going to happen. So the question, what does this lesson have to do with God? What's spiritually going on in the world? It has everything to do with what's spiritually going on in the world. We're seeing prophecy unfold.
Done.
Right? Let's jump to 2 Peter's real quick. Second Peter's 3 and 4. Sorry.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 4. And saying,
No, 3. 3. Start from 3 and
yeah.
3 and 4.
2 Peter's or 1 Peter's?
2 Peter's.
Okay.
Start from verse 3.
Okay. Come. It's the book of 2 Peter's, chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers.
The question, I saw the question as a scoff. Right? The person who put the question up may not have meant it as a scoff, but I read it as is. Right? You're getting a lesson of what's going on in the world, and you're asking the question, what does this have to do with God? This has everything to do with God. And what's spiritually going on in the world? It has everything to do with what's spiritually going on in the world. Right? So this question, in my opinion, is a scoff. Then the person says, oh, y'all misunderstand my question, but it's all good.
Good.
No, it's not all good. You're in a class to learn what's going on in the world and the scripture and what God says to prepare our people for these last days. But Peter himself says, read that again.
God, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers.
Scoffers. Right? People are going to be scoffing against the lesson. People are going to be scoffing against what we teach. People are going to be scoffing against the truth. Scoffers, they will come. Again, that's prophecy. Right? We're not angry. We were told scoffers gonna come. Right? What does a scoffer do? They make fun. They ask questions that are, to kind of go against the grain of what's being brought out. They treat things with contempt. Is like, why am I listening to this? This is it made no sense to me. We know Jesus loves everybody. Right? You're scoffing, whether you know it or not. Right? Somebody sit down to bring out a lesson. You could say, hey man, thank you for bringing out this lesson. But you ask a question to kind of like, scoff against what was being brought out. Like, hey man, this ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Why we here listening to this? Why are we listening to this hate speech?
Yeah.
This is garbage. I don't need to sit here and listen to all of that. I could be on TikTok. It's a scoff. And that's what Peter said. In these days, scoffers gonna come. Right? They're gonna come, and we understand that's what the Bible says is gonna happen. So we see in it right before our eyes.
God.
Go ahead. Continue.
God. Walking after their own lusts.
The things that you desire. This lesson is not good enough for you. You want a lesson with soft words. You want us to speak smooth things, right? You want us to speak things as you like. I want to hear about the kind of puppies Jesus is going to bring for us. I want to hear about the ice cream because I think heaven got some good ice cream. That's what I want to hear about. I want to hear about Santa Claus and how he loves the kids. You want smooth things. We ain't got nothing smooth here. We ain't got nothing, with polka dots and pink and ribbons and cute puppies. No, we ain't got none of that here. We got scripture, hardcore scripture. It's going to cut you. It's going to cut me. It's a two-edged sword. It's as straight as that.
God.
Go ahead, continue.
Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming?
I've been hearing Jesus coming so long. My God. He's taking forever. He's supposed to promise puppies, right? Gentle Jesus, meek and mild. That's what I know. John 3:15. For God so loved the world. That's what we should be preaching about. But this is how scoffers are, man. You're going to take your time to bring out a lesson and somebody's going to scoff against it. I don't need to hear all of that. I don't need to hear about what's going on in the news. Tell me what's going on in the Bible. Well, guess what? What's going on in the news is what the Bible says is going on. It's going to happen. Jesus taking too long to come, man. I need my Caesar Borgia now. I'm making to the skies. I want to see my blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus. That's the Jesus I grew up with. That's the Jesus I prayed to. Right? This is unfortunately what is going to happen, and we're accustomed to this. Go ahead, King.
God, for since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
Ain't no Jesus coming. Them prophets talk about him coming. They're gone. They're sleeping. They're dead. And things continue going on. Every day the sun is going to come up and the sun is going to go down. The sun is going to come up. The sun is going to go down. And nothing's going to change. You better get yours on earth. Ain't no heaven. Ain't no pie in the sky. Ain't no salvation. You got to make your own salvation. Right? You forget about that stuff. They've been talking about that stuff forever. My grandparents was talking about that stuff. Now in my generation, I'm still hearing about this Jesus coming. No, we're living in prophecy, and everything is going to happen the way the Most High said it's going to happen. One thing at a time. The Euphrates is going to dry up. It's going to snow in places that it never snowed. It's going to be wars and rumors of wars. It's going to be perilous times. It's going to come Jacob's trouble. It's going to be all of these boss women who making their money is going to come in these last days and say, "Hey, marry us. We got our own money. We just want to take your name." 7 women to 1 man. It's going to be transgender. It's going to be people who walking around in the streets with chains on them because they think they're a puppy, they think they're a dog, they think they're a turtle. It's going to be the pedophiles renaming themselves. They're no longer pedophiles. They're just people who love minors. They're minor attracted people. There's going to be all kind of stuff. This is prophecy, and this is what we're teaching. This is what the brother bringing out. Khan,
Done.
all praises. I yield, King.
Done. So yeah, just for those who don't know, you look up the word scoff. To speak to someone or about something in a scornfully derisive or mocking way. So that's what the brother was going in on. So when you scoff, a lot of times you're just mocking and you're trying to make the other person or make them or a situation just make fun of it. And so if you had to say something, brother, whoever or sister, whoever wrote that, you want to say something, or I don't know if they're still on, but it can clearly be taken as you're being scoffed. Like, man, I just listened to this guy. What are you talking about? What is you rambling on? Nobody care about he served. I'm just making comparison. Kind of like if I was a fireman, and none of y'all been a fireman before, talking about it from a person who's done it and who's been around it and who's easily can understand it, you know. And this is why in the military, um, you can be anything as far as religion. And most of the people that serve, most of them become atheists or agnostic, you know. It's easily to see war and to see what it does, see babies and women dying, people get sick. Like, man, how can there be a God? So he not supposed to kill women and children? Like they not supposed to die during the war? What if that child grow up? Half the people that tried to kill me, they was over there in '03. They were 12 years old. I went back over there in '06. That mean that's like what, 5 years? It's 3 years. So that mean they was 15. Then I went back in '09. That mean they was 17. We arrested a young Iraqi kid. He was 14 years old. He was digging bombs and blowing us up. I mean, they sent him to jail for like 20 years. I was like, damn, that's kind of a long time. 20 years? He's right. He's 14. I felt bad for him, to be honest, because, I didn't know they were Ishmael and, they did all that stuff to him. So I didn't know none of that before. But I was just like, but his dad had him digging the bombs. Like he was out there digging bombs with his dad. What are you supposed to say? No, I ain't doing that. But yeah, he went to jail for like 20, 30 years. Crazy. But anyway, so, just giving my little perspective. So hopefully you guys were edified and enlightened. Hopefully you guys get something from this. And thanks for the scripts. Yeah, that one, Second Timothy, that hit it on. That was it right there. I didn't even think about that one. But again, try to get this book right here. Behold, behold a pale horse. Okay. Behold a pale horse. I'm gonna read this thing. It's like 400 pages. So for you guys that drive trucks, I guess you can get the audio. I don't know. I can't. I gotta read. Like if you good with the audio and stuff, get the audio. Yeah, I just can't get into that. But there's a lot of books that you got to read, and definitely, everybody needs to have this. It's almost like when you was out there in the world, for all you old guys that was out there thinking you was the ladies' man, what you always kept in your car. Exactly. Your overnight bag. So every Israelite should have their overnight bag from Babylon to Timbuktu. Okay. Ladies, you shouldn't have been doing that. So I ain't gonna say nothing to the ladies. But for you men out there, certain things we always keep. Okay. So every Israelite should have from Babylon to Timbuktu. And the guy, he wasn't even an Israelite, but it's a lot of great information in there. That's why I like it. And that's like the little kickstart to understanding that there's something called prophecy or what they call eschatology. Okay. Some nerd stuff. All right. So, like the brother brought out, I appreciate the scriptures. And I appreciate the opportunity to bring some information out to you guys. You guys have any information, hit me up. Um, and that's all I got. You got anything, Shemaya?
That's it, King. You did it.
Good.
Great information again. You know, man, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. And, you know, if you go into the churches, it's literally still telling you about, you know, name it and claim it, about prosperity,
Mm-hmm.
and not really telling people about really what's going on.
Yeah, it's sad.
You know, the Euphrates, I don't know what stage of drying up it is, but we see that's prophecies from thousands and thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody knew there was damn cities under the damn Euphrates,
Hey, it's
right? You muted yourself, King.
I'm sorry. It's talking to my son.
Yeah, nobody knew there was cities under the Euphrates, man. It's just some crazy stuff going on, man. We see in prophecy. We're living in a time where so many things are happening that the Bible talked about, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I did. Like I say, I was over there when that thing was flowing. I saw it. They was they was washing their cars. Somebody was washing up. They was taking the water out and freezing it and selling it to us for ice. I remember one time they sold us a piece of ice, had a whole fish in there. Yeah, but yeah, just to see it dried up, it's like crazy. I was like, man, that river was flowing.
Yeah, con. That's no, I mean, look in the size of Euphrates. Nobody ever thought. That's like going up to Niagara Falls and seeing just, rock, no
Yeah.
water flowing. Nobody think that stuff is going to end. But if the Most High said it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And we're seeing it right there. So, all praises, man. Good information, Tawada. You could, Dietrich's still there. You can go into, praying us out. Uh,
Get the book of Matthew. Let me see.
yeah, I don't know if Dietrich gonna read it out, or you're just gonna read it out at your 6 and 9.
Oh, okay. Well, I can read it out.
Yeah.
Fine. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse.
So Shalaki, make sure everyone is turned to the east.
Con. Everybody
And
face east.
you're gonna do in Hebrew as well, or you're just gonna do it in English?
I don't have the Hebrew one.
It's okay. It's okay. If
Hey, Salakia.
Aria there? Okay, Aria
Yeah,
is there.
I'll close it in Hebrew after he does it in English.
Okay, Khan. Tawada King.
Beautiful lesson, King.
The water. All right. Con. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
God.
God.
All praise Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rachakadash Shemai Yesharala Yahweh Allah Haynawa Yahweh Ahad Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim Kodash Haya Shamka Yahweh Malakovka Taba'a Ratazaka Haya Isha Barataza Kawa Haya Bashemayim Natananawa Laham Hayawam Wasalach Nawa Habawaf Nawa Kasalach Nawa Habawafi Nawa Wala'a Tabiyai Nawa Banasayawan Abal Hawashai Nawa Mayan Rai Kaya Laka Hamalakwaf Wahala Wataparaf Lai Walamyam Amen. We come to you, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to please direct our steps and to guide us, to strengthen us in these last days throughout our trials and tribulations, to give us the spirit to overcome all things, to prepare our mind as well, mentally, physically, and spiritually, for all upcoming challenges, to make us better in these last days, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to also have us ready for the coming of Yahweh Shai, also be ready for the trials and tribulation that's coming up ahead, and also be ready for all the challenges of Satan, Yahweh Shem Shai. We come to you also to strengthen us in these times, to heal those that are sick, help those and strengthen those that have lost loved ones, Yahweh Shem Shai, to continue to keep going and stay pushing, and also to bring death and destruction and wrath and righteous judgment on America, on the wicked throughout the four corners of the earth, to bring judgment on Babylon, to speed up the time for the elect's sake, to bring judgment on our oppressors and the wicked, and also to bring judgment on those that try to harm us and destroy us and try to use sorcery and witchcraft and all different means of wicked things against us, Yahweh Shem Shai, knowingly and known, Yahweh Shem Shai, to also bring a judgment on America and their presidents and their leadership, and also those that try to harm us, Yahweh Shem Shai, throughout all different walks of life, throughout our occupations, throughout the times that we in, Yahweh Shem Shai, and to bring curses upon the Edomites and the heathens, 100-fold, Yahweh Shem Shai, and to give us relief and also gladness and happiness throughout these times. Throughout it, throughout Babylon. Amen. Ah.
God.
God.
The water.
Praises.
Water.
All praises. Appreciate it.
I was saying, judge these devils 1,000 times, boy.
God.
Especially those in the military, boy. Oh, God.
God, we got next.
Oh, we got next game. Shemashak Yahushua.
Mashak Yahushua. God. I appreciate everybody participating and chiming in on the class. Hopefully, people got some edification, some understanding, and I'll continue to give some more classes, especially when I read this book. I heard about this book like 10, 15 years ago. I just ain't never got it. But
there's a lot of stuff in there, man.
yeah, I heard one of my friends was telling me about it. I was like, yeah, I get it. I was just, you know how it is. I'm reading so many books and stuff, you get distracted and having all these babies. But I'm gonna read this book because I heard about this guy. I think he's dead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they killed him.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, because I had come across this with him and then that one black guy who was he helped like destroy the Black Panthers and then he like disappeared. Yeah, they had some thing on him on NBC back in the 80s or something. How he infiltrated the Black Panthers and he was working for the FBI or something like that. But okay, Con.
Yeah, so they said his death he happened when some law enforcement people were trying to arrest him. So
yeah, okay.
Lucky, you talking about the guy that betrayed Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers, the Jake?
Yeah, he was. Did you see the interview?
I remember that interview, boy.
Yeah, he was.
Oh man!
And then he like disappeared after that interview, and nobody know where this dude at no more.
You could look in his eyes, you could tell that nigga ain't got no soul, and that nigga, like they hit his ass with probably some MK Ultra or something. You could just look at him.
Yeah, he was like he had no emotion. He was just
he
talking.
had no emotion, bro. Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, this nigga's a dead man. You could just look at him like, Nigga, what you saying out your mouth, nigga? You know damn well you don't believe that.
Then he tried to put it on them. He wasn't. Not one time I heard him take accountability.
Nah, you sold out, nigga, and you try to look for the positive aspects of you betraying your own people for the white man, for Esau, nigga. A brother trying to help your nation, man. Put his life on the line every day, fighting the wars against your enemies, and nigga, you the one that helped bring them down.
Yeah.
You can't justify that.
Nah.
Are you?
Well,
Con.
huh?
Yeah, man. So that's a good book, man. There's a lot of
Or the
stuff
poor
that
horse.
dude brought out, and I think they started like going after him, you know, tax evasion. You know how the
Yeah,
tactics.
they slowly, right,
Yeah,
break you
how to.
down.
Yeah, so that's literally kind of one of the things that was happening to him. They started going after him for a bunch of, trumped up stuff, as they say.
Kind
Um,
of like they did our people, as far as
yeah,
the
yeah,
Michael
exactly.
Jacksons and yeah, I
Yeah,
got you. I got you. Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, hey, they kill one of their own.
Kind, all praises.
But it's so many times their own is what brings out information, right?
Yeah, they have a conscience. You know, Thomas Jefferson, he had a conscience. He was like, man, what we did to these people, man. You know, we're going to get it back tenfold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think that was Thomas Jefferson.
yeah,
I'm
they
gonna do
got a
some
lot.
research on Thomas Jefferson. He was different.
Mm, I don't know
I,
how different he is, but
he he was different. He was just weird. He was just different. He was always saying stuff. Like he had a guilty conscience, but I know, right? He had his whole side chick in the side of his wall. Like, what? That brings a whole. I think he the guy that started side chicks because she was in the side of their room. That the one slave chick. So no
side
disrespect
chick.
to any of the ladies, huh?
No, you said side chick, and his chick was really literally to the side.
She was literally to the side. They like showed like a picture of how he dug it. Like, bro, put her out. You going anyway? He dug a cave in the room, and she was on the side of the bed and had the kids living in the walls. God damn, that's weird. That's like the Esau that was raping his or Salakia, graping his daughter, and he had her living in the walls, and they had like 7 kids or something together. He was German, and he was raping his daughter. Here's the funny thing: him and his wife was looking for his daughter. He was like, I don't know where she at. She like, I know. Well, let's put pictures of. He like, okay. He went along with this for like 20 years. Wow. And then find out her whole daughter's in the freaking house living in the walls. And the reason why, you can Google the story. They found out because she got sick, I guess, with one of the mini babies, and he had to go on the wall and bring her out and take her to the hospital. Man, I wonder how that night was when he got back home. I wonder how he explained that. Like, well, I don't know how he could explain that one, but yeah, it was a German guy, and he had I don't know several kids from his daughter, and he was
Yeah, I know about that story. Yeah, that's crazy.
you remember it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was then I think he died on the for the trial or something.
Yeah, but they were literally living in the house there. Yeah.
That's great. She had to have knew Ak.
I,
Ain't no way she
they did
ain't.
a couple of movies about that too. I can't remember if the movie was exactly about their situation, but yeah, they brought out
I
some
don't know if it
movies.
had to do with their situation. I know you're talking about where the
Yeah,
people was living in the walls. Yeah,
yeah,
that could have been a movie about that. I ain't never think of that.
yeah.
Because that's
That's
what, like
how
20
Esau
years
is,
old
man.
now? How old is that story?
Yeah, it's pretty old.
Pretty old, right? About 20 something.
Yeah, it's an old story, but yeah, that's how Esau rolls, man.
Hey, side chicks keep him in the side of the wall. So he saw
Yeah, Esau getting his own daughter pregnant. It's crazy.
Yeah,
The
several times. That
the,
was
the incest. That's another. I think I can't remember if a brother brought out that story, that type of information about Esau and his level of incest.
yeah. The elder was talking about it. Elder Terrell's talking about doing the feast dedication because like there's an army base up there called Fort Drum. I don't know what it's
Mm,
called now, but it was like, near Syracuse, New York. It's like upstate New York called Fort
mm,
Drum. It's called 10th Mountain Division. And all those guys were like, bro, you do not want to come here. I was like, why? He was like, dude, the incest is crazy over here. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, man, it's upper New York. Shit, everybody's on limits. Nobody's off limits. I was like,
yeah,
what? And I found out about that. Like, it was like 20 years ago because I wanted to get stationed there. And they was like, nah, bro, you don't want to come here. And then the elder boarded out about the level of incest. It's like the highest incest in America is upstate New York, certain areas up there.
yeah. There's a family who still who lives. I can't remember what part of the U.S. they are in,
Mm-hmm.
but their incest level is so crazy. And historically, there's another family who their incest level. I mean, the whole family, their skin was actually blue. Yeah, their skin started turning blue, and it was just family on family stuff going on. But there's a family right now, and they're
Mm-hmm.
all like, I don't want to use the word retarded, but that stuff kind of starts messing up your genes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they all kind of have that type of issue.
Oh, that Down syndrome stuff?
Yeah, it's
Mm.
I don't know if it's worse than Down syndrome. Let me see if I could find it real quick. One second.
Okay. Yeah. Man, it's Esau. Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
Esau.
there's a whole family. I mean, let me see. Oh man, I used to have that information. Well, this is one of it here. Just one second. Let me share the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share the screen real quick.
Huh.
Uh, Screen number. Okay, so um,
Ranking just above baseball, incest is one of America's most popular pastimes. Like in Europe, certain families were at one time notorious for practicing it. Some did so believing their bloodline was special and needed to be kept pure, while others did so to ensure their fortune would remain within the family. Either way, it always led to disastrous consequences, to the point it was almost synonymous with tragedy. Such was the case for one of America's most rich and powerful families. This is the story of that family, and of their self-imposed curse. With an estimated fortune of $14.3 billion, the DuPont family are among the most wealthy in North America. For centuries they have wielded political influence, playing a role in historic events like the Louisiana Purchase. But the DuPonts have always been secretive, existing only in a bubble of extreme wealth. And over the years, strange rumors emerged of their involvement in Satanism, incest, and even murder. Now, my audience is far from normal, so you might not think those things are strange, but they just are.
okay, so you know, this is you guys could watch this video on online, right? America's most inbred family.
Yeah,
But
I'm
this
I'm
family
watching.
here that I'm about to show you,
Mm-hmm.
they actually kind of did a photo shoot, and I want to just this is how they are right now. This is what they look like, right?
Oh
And
my
how they
God.
talk.
And your name is?
Lorraine.
Lorraine? And Timmy?
Yeah.
Now you guys grew up here in Odd, West Virginia.
Oh my God.
How many years have you lived here?
All her life. All my life.
You're
That's how this guy
I mean, did you go to school?
talks. He sounds like a puppy.
You did? Some of your brothers and sisters probably didn't go to school, or how much schooling did they get?
They didn't wish school long, but he graduated.
You graduated from what?
Well, I was in high school.
You went to high school, Timmy?
Yeah, he went to high school all in Beck.
And how about you, Lorraine?
No, she didn't went to school.
She didn't. And
No, they didn't went to school.
come on out.
What state is this?
I think he said Virginia.
Oh God, man. That's
West Virginia.
Ray, tell me about your family.
That's how he speaks.
Wait a minute. That was him speaking, the dog?
The guy in the red shirt in the back. That's him speaking right there.
Was he barking like a dog?
That's how he speaks. You see?
Oh my God.
So Ray.
Wow, that's insane. I ain't never seen that like this.
This is a photo shoot.
You start praising him that it's a done deal, and then you just stand there.
Pictures from the photo shoot.
How do I turn that off?
That's crazy.
You just have to stand. It says over in Ephesians chapter 6 that you take unto you the whole armor of God, having done all things you
How do I turn it? You know how to turn that down?
And there are times that you just have to take the helmet of salvation, the breastplate.
So, yeah. This is some of the results.
And you have to just stand there until you
That's
see a
crazy.
manifestation. Now, I believe that there's things
Of the level of incest.
Your whole life.
Wow.
And your family, you lost your brother since I was here last.
Come on, Ray, get me on board.
That's crazy.
Tell me about your brother.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. I definitely got to get on these. I got to YouTube this.
Yeah, just look up, inbred families, incest in America, that type of stuff. You're going to see the videos on YouTube.
Okay.
You know,
Check it out.
I mean, and it's not just in America, but,
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're gonna probably find videos on the people who like I was saying were blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna look this up. God, the water.
What's your favorite memory, Ray? Do you remember anything about your life?
Hey.
So there you go.
And you lost your other brother.
That's crazy. All right, shalom, Bob.
He's gone.
That's crazy. All right. Yabashim Yabashah Brakatah.
Yabashim Yabashah Brakatah.
Good. Shalom.
Shalom.